Okay, today I'm going to show you the technique I like to use when skinning a rabbit. I'm going to skin the rabbit using a handmade flint tool. I made this flint tool myself at the Bushcraft UK Bushmeet, thanks to help from John and Will Lord that were doing the flint knapping course there. So as I said, this is the first time for me using this tool. I thought I'd record it and share the experience with you guys. This rabbit was shot fresh last night, so just stretching his legs out here, it's a bit stiff, making it workable. First thing we need to do is empty out the urine out of its bladder. You do this by squeezing down quite hard on the bottom abdomen. Just empty out the urine there on the grass. I start my first incision with a flint just to the bottom of the rib cage there. I'm pinching the skin upwards and cutting across, just so I don't have to put any pressure down on the rabbit itself or on any internal organs. Just want to make a small hole there so I can work from there and then work downwards. I've actually got two of my flint tools here, just testing out the cutting edge on both of them, really different areas of the flint, because I've not used either to skin a rabbit yet. Just learning the right pressure to use and which parts of the tool to work. I'm being careful not to cut the belly wall of the rabbit, so I don't puncture any of the organs and the intestines inside. Just tearing the skin away from the belly wall there, so I don't cut into that. And working your way down to the anus. I've soon found that this flint is an ample tool for the job. It gets it done. I'm sure you can improve on the design and shape of the tool with a bit of practice. This was my first go at making these tools, so you could improve on them. There's certainly more to flint knapping than most people might think at first. You know, there's a lot more to it. It's quite good fun. There's something magical about making your own flint tool as well. Working with the material flint itself feels a bit unique and different to the modern day materials we're used to, and it's just great to really get into the mindset. I mean, you know, you're using materials and techniques that your ancestors would have used tens of thousands of years ago, and it really just makes you think differently, slow down a little, and think how you're going to do things, what strikes you're going to make on the flint using tools, the same tools as your ancestors would have, you know, round hardened pebbles, antlers and stuff like that. And yeah, nothing's changed. You know, when you really get into it and you're working for hours, you're in the same mindset as your ancestors. You've got a bit of a connection there. It's really good. Anyway, back to this rabbit now. So we've opened up the front of it, cut from about the bottom of the rib cage to the anus. Now it's a matter of working the skin away from the meat. Just, you can do this with your hands, or if you hit a tricky part, you can use your skinning knife or flint tool. Yeah, just pull quite hard. I'm probably using the tool a bit more than it's naturally needed here, but I just wanted to see how it perform and do its job. You're aiming to work the skin away from the meat all the way behind its back, so you can get your hand in behind the rabbit. This is the point I choose to cut off the back two legs, just at the roughly the knee joints, maybe a bit above. Taking the limbs off now just makes it easier to pull the skin off in a minute. The skin just ends up coming away from the body like a sock, really. At this stage you could choose to be a bit more rash with the, you could just yank the legs up through the skin. I'm actually trying to save the skin of this rabbit and preserve it. It's the first time I've tried it, so I'm taking a little bit more care. And secondly, it's just a good excuse to use the flint as well, so give that a go. But yeah, you can quite easily, if you're heavy-handed about it, you can just pull that leg meat up straight through. Once you've separated the skin from the back legs, you can pretty much just pull upward on the skin and rip it up round the neck area. The next thing to do is to pull the skin off the top two legs just before we take it up over the head. So basically you're sticking your fingers in and around and pulling away the skin away from the legs there, and they just come off like little socks. Again, I'm being a little careful here. I'm trying to preserve the skin and not damage it too much, but you could just really be a bit of brute force and get these off quick. But they come off like little socks. Now it's just a matter of pulling the skin up over the head, clearing it of the neck. The blood and damage that you can see here is just where it was shot and its neck swiftly broken. So yeah, pull the skin clean up over the head. And as you've probably guessed, the next step is to take the head off. The next step is to gut the rabbit, get the internal organs out. So, like when we made the first incision with the skin on the belly here, we're just going to sort of pinch the skin up and cut across. So we're not using a downward pressure, puncturing any organs inside. So we just cut a hole there into the cavity of the main body, and try not to spill it everywhere because the organs aren't the cleanest things, and you don't want to puncture the intestines because that's all the food and feces of the animal. It's always handy to have a carrier bag or something ready to put the guts in and get them clear. It's also important to also check the organs for any abnormalities. Check they haven't got any white spots or anything like that. It could be a sign of disease. Check that the organs are looking healthy and a good colour. But yeah, no white spots. Next up, you're going to want to take the tail off and the anus. So you can do this just by putting the blade of your axe either side of the tail and the base of the spine basically, and just hitting down. You don't need to go too mad taking off too much. Just make sure you got the anus out basically, and next you can clean up the meat a little just by chopping off bits of fur and whatnot, whatever's left. Also check that you've got all the organs from up inside the rib cage, the windpipe and the heart and lungs and stuff. Good opportunity to check for any diseased spots or anything. All looks nice and healthy. And that's basically it really. You just got to give the meat a good wash in some fresh water, and you can find a nice recipe and try a new dish, or you can just, if you're out and about, you can just spit roast them over the fire if you've not got much to work with. So that was my first experience at skinning game using flint tools. I hope some of you found that useful. If you're interested in doing something similar yourself, If you're looking for any more free information on bushcraft related articles, tips and tricks and guides, you might want to check out my site naturalbushcraft.co.uk. Thanks for watching.